Hello, dear viewers, and welcome to a new edition of Business Insider. Tonight we'll be talking about ESG, environmental social governance. We'll be talking about the importance of ESG in improving the investment atmosphere and how this would be beneficial for Egypt, and we'll be doing that in the company of our dear guest with us here in the studio, Dr. Mohamed Selim, and he is an energy and ESG advisor and also a board member of the Arab Energy Council. A very good evening to you, Dr. Salman. Always Mohamed Selim Salman, of course, so Dr. Selim or Dr. Salman. Which one do you prefer, Dr. Selim or Dr. Salman?
All the same. Thank you very much. It's my pleasure really to be with you.
Thank you very much. And Dr. Mohamed Selim Salman, allow us as always, and allow us, dear viewers, please to watch a report first about our main topic for tonight and then start our discussion. Please stay with us.
Right.
In 2016, Egypt launched its first version of the National Strategy for Sustainable Development, Egypt Vision 2030, as a cornerstone for a comprehensive developmental process taking into account the national priorities to outline a roadmap that achieves sustainable development and meets the aspirations of the Egyptian people for a dignified and decent life. Egypt Vision 2030 Sustainable Development Strategy aims for a 10% reduction in greenhouse gas emissions by 2030. Among the pillars of the plan are an energy sector meeting national sustainable development requirements and maximizing the efficient use of various traditional and renewable resources, contributing to the economic growth and preserving the environment. The plan also pledges a clean, safe and healthy environment leading to diversified production resources and economic activities. More recently, Egypt took the lead as the host nation of COP27, publishing the Just Finance Guidebook on moving funds from the developed world to developing countries. Off the back of this concept, it raised nearly $10 billion in climate finance. Egypt's government clearly sees sustainability as key to moving the country forward to comply with UN Sustainable Development Goals and as a mechanism to attract money and support for projects that have traditionally been less accessible to developing countries.
Thank you very much, dear viewers, for staying with us, and many thanks to Abir Hussein and Rasha Abdel Hamid for this report. Back here in the studio with our dear guest, engineer Dr. Mohamed Selim Salman, the energy and ESG advisor. Dr. Selim, so the best way to start, I guess, is to define ESG and tell us about the roadmap that we have here for tonight.
Okay, this is really my pleasure to be here with you as usual, Mr. Mohammed, that we create or provide something new. Really, ESG is a new terminology and is as a framework to be in the portfolio of the organizations to make to improve the trust with the investors. ESG means that it's defined as E for environmental impact and mutual impact. Maybe you can the organization impact the environmental, or was the impact of environment on the organization. Okay, and S turns to the social. So social, there is also corporate social responsibility, and what's the corporate deal with the social, how they make contribution to the social, and how it's also social means also to the employees of the company, and the most important also the governance. how's this organization governance, and was the board members, how make the disclosure of important information and transparency of information of and the engagement with the stakeholders, all these issues regarding to the ESG. But please let me make a summary for what we are going to discuss tonight. This is to add. Okay, please. First of all, we would like to understanding what the ESG stands for, okay, and also the importance of the ESG to the corporates in Egypt and globally also, focusing on sustainability. Sustainability, most word has been now handled everywhere, so we would like to also focusing on this sustainability and ethical practice and transparency. Also the role of ESG in improving the investment environment, okay, such as investor attraction, risk management, related to environmental, social and governance, and enhancing reputation and brand value. This brand of the company, as it adhere and commitment with the ESG principles, so this also good for the company, and this is make the investor, yes, that's okay. Also, let us go in specific regarding to the specific benefits for Egyptian market. We can also concentrate in the liberalization of the energy market. We go further to the what's the current status of the energy market, especially in the electricity, and what's will be the impact for the liberalization. Some also KPIs measurements regarding to the environmental and social and governance. The role of technology and software applications. Most of companies are using the ESG, but maybe has not a framework in software to generate reports in a periodical way. Maybe some companies like Orascom, maybe like without naming, okay, yeah. There are certain companies, big companies, they have their own system, but this is to distribute and disseminate this information all over the companies, will support them and aligning them with the sustainability principles. And finally, we are going to call to action for the business and for investors and for policy makers. We hope that we can cover these items in our meeting today.
So, Dr. Selim, you told us about what is ESG, the environmental social governance. My question to you before we get to the role of ESG in improving the investment atmosphere and other matters is, how important is ESG specifically when it comes to energy-related investments?
Really, this is the ESG framework is very important to make the energy sector operate in ethical manner and also in high performance and high efficiency. Energy sector is already operate with the environmental sections regarding to the green energy, renewable energy, and also regarding to the social, they provide the service to the social and make the customer satisfactions, what's the factors and parameters to make the customer satisfied with the service that provided to them. And the governance, this is still, there is also a governance, but does it meet the requirement? Does it make the transparency for the information handled here and there? So all these issues should be considered in the framework of each company. And as I wouldn't like to say, it's not a secret that we are going to liberalization based on the law number 87 for the 2015. So this this law mentioned that liberalization will be there to liberalize the energy sector and separate the transmission company as transmission system operator, okay, and generation to a side and the distribution to the other side. So all these companies should work in governance, in governing manner, and disclose the important information with the transparency to attract the investors, to also once make a registration in a stock market or sell some power plants, for example, so the investor can come when he can read in transparent method or transparent matter all the details of the company, and this is will raise the price of our companies if we follow the ESG framework.
Okay, Dr. Selim, before proceeding further, allow me to ask you a question here. I mean, some people will be afraid that liberalizing such huge companies like electricity companies, for instance, would make for higher electricity prices. Yes, exactly. What would you say to those fears?
Our meeting today for ESG, but for the liberalization of the market is something else. But let me focus
Since you mentioned it, when you talked about the governance, you said that we have a law in 2015 that stipulates that.
Yes, that's okay. This law mentioned there is a qualified customer for the liberalization. He can select the source of the power he can deal with. And there is another customer who is the unqualified customer, who is living the normal customer. This unqualified customer for selecting the provider of electricity, he will still keep the rates of the tariff, and also he will be under the subsidy of the tariff, and he will not be impacted as a normal. But the liberalization to the qualified customers who for intensive companies, intensive intensive consumption customer, and also we can select and segregate a certain customers from the mess of the country.
Right.
Okay.
Say those who have billions worth of fortunes, or
that's the reason, and it is we cannot make. I was in a program 3-4 days ago, and mentioned that there is a deviation or differentiation between a certain customer and another customer in our current status now. Our current status now is based on the slides, which is for until 50 kilowatt hour, 100 and until the 1000 kilowatt hours. These prices cannot be increased by the electricity company with themselves. There is Egypt ERA is the authorized authority to study and increase or not increase. So the distribution company cannot increase the prices to anybody.
On its own.
Okay. Yes.
Got it. Now, so Dr. Selim, how important is ESG to the investment atmosphere?
Yes, as we mentioned, that ESG, once it's there, so the environment of the area will, the environment of the country will be, for the investment, will be enriched, and also makes the promotion for the protecting the environment We are already going on in this region regarding to the green energy, low carbon strategy for hydrogen, and also several of renewable energy PV systems. The latest one, or the recently, has the government has signed a contract or agreement with a certain company I wouldn't like to mention, but
thanks. So we do that because we don't want ads here.
I appreciate. Okay, and the respect fully.
Thank you.
Okay, and it is about 2,000 megawatt PV system. Here, I'd like to raise a flag once again. Please, it is not only PV system, renewable energy connected to the grid. That is, no. Still, we need a storage system. Please, once we make such a contract agreement, please add a certain amount with the storage to keep the stability and security of supply of the electricity. As we mentioned the ESG and mentioned the disclosure of information and the transparency, please let us know what's the learned lessons from Benban and the impact of Benban on the grid.
The huge solar power plant that we have.
It's 1.5 giga approximately. This is has a certain impact on the grid. What's the learned lessons? So these learned lessons should be applied to the 2 gigawatt that has been signed now. So this is one issue important for the makes the environment is attractive to the investment. Okay.
Yes, a very good example there. So there is something called the integration of ESG practices. How would you describe? What does that mean? The integration of ESG practices.
Really, the integration means the ESG should be integrated in the strategy of the company. So once the executives of the company speak and make some notes about the performance of the company, he should mention what's the impact of the ESG framework in his company. Where is it the ESG in the portfolio of the company? This makes as a trend and makes the enrichment to the environment of the investment. And everyone, okay, here is a good issue. And also regarding to the technology. Maybe it is not Excel sheet and it is not a Word file report. There is softwares for that. Should be maybe some companies use certain softwares, but regarding to the sector of energy may not use such softwares. So
why?
Maybe it's considered as expensive. Consider that a lot of softwares is there. So it can be
luxury.
Maybe a luxury, considered as luxury, but
you're saying
necessary.
It's not a luxury.
No, it is necessary. It is necessary now because you should issue a report if it is not in quarter base, but can be in monthly basis. So there is a form and there is a standard for these reports. So these standard reports should be ready and just collecting data, okay, and maintain these data, analyze, then report will be issued in good manner.
Right. Dr. Selim, can you provide us with some examples of benefits for the Egyptian market when we adopt ESG policies?
If you would like, would you please let me set some points regarding to the ESG?
Please.
ESG is not just we create something or the world global creates something new. It is, maybe it is a new in terminology,
yeah.
okay, but it is related to the 17 SDGs that has been
by the UN, yes, approved by the UN.
Yes, the Sustainable Development Goals was by 2015. There is 17 goals. These 17 goals are matched with the 3 category of
environment,
social and governance. For example, regarding to the environmental, there is an SDG number 6. It's mentioned the clean water and sanitation. So these in power plants, for example, in power plants that I always or used to work in power plants, there is sanity to the sea or to the rivers. This should be treated properly before drainage. So this is, you protect the environment, the water issue, and also the sewage treatment plant. Also the water which is drained to the natural or to the river should be treated properly. So this is one of the SDG number 6. SDG number 7, regarding to affordable and clean energy.
Right.
Affordable, as you mentioned, that regarding to the prices of tariff should be reasonable price. Reasonable price, not in high expensive, and not it will not be low at any extent. Sure, okay, sure. But should be affordable, based on a high performance operation, and the provider of electricity should do his homework in a high extent to make the performance as high in high percentage, and at this case the customer will respect the price, because this is in high quality and high performance effort.
Right,
okay,
right.
But not just I didn't say for the poor performance, but it is not, maybe there is some impacts on the performance. Also the SDG number 13, regarding to the climate action.
Absolutely.
Regarding to the social, SDG 1 mentioned that no poverty. So it is mentioned that we should respect and makes the social no
anything
poverty.
that has to do with no poverty, zero hunger, reducing unemployment, okay. Creating jobs, exactly.
That's okay. Yeah. And the SDG 11, regarding to the sustainable cities and communities. This is also making cities and human settlements inclusive, safe, resilient, and sustainable.
That achieves social justice goals, for instance.
Okay, and regarding to the governance, it is also mentioned that the audit, internal controls, this should be also mentioned. We should know, we should understand for the companies, we should know how they are work and how they use their money in the operation of the systems. If I'm an investor and I want to invest in a certain company, I should know how is it operation. And it's easy to know that regarding to the petrochemicals, Abu Qir petrochemicals, just investor came and take the company, the price of the stock has been increased.
Right.
Okay, so we hope that this should be in front of the investors.
Good. So allow us, Dr. Selim and Devious, to take a short break here, and then continue our discussion. We'll still have much more here on Business Insider. Please do.
Thank you.
right, thank you for staying with us, dear viewers. Welcome back to Business Insider with Dr. Mohamed Selim, the Energy and ESG Advisor. Dr. Selim, we're talking about ESG here in specific tonight. Could you share with us some examples of successful ESG integration globally and locally?
Okay, but now should I mention the certain companies' names or
no, please.
No,
I'm
okay.
sorry.
Globally is really it's mentioned in a certain companies, global companies, and also there is a ranking for such companies which company meets the framework and the factor. Okay. Also regarding to the local, we have also several companies. For example, in social responsibility, they make a good for education and training, and also provide certain support to hospitals. And mention their report. You can go to their reports and find out the governance is there and who is the board members and how is it deal with the issues and what's the profits. Really, from my point of view, if the company does not satisfy a certain profit, okay, from one should be changed, and unless they give a reasons for why they didn't achieve the profit and how they correct this status next duration of the board members. Because in public companies, you can see the board members and the chairman set for 10, 12, 14 years.
Despite losses in many cases.
But this is if he has a new issue, he will provide it in early time. Why he stay? If the company makes a loss, why he stay for such long time?
Okay. Dr. Selim, what challenges face companies when trying to implement ESG practices? The challenge?
Yes, the challenge is the first challenge that no one wants to change. Everyone wants, okay, we are happy with
the comfort zone.
Yes, the comfort zone, and but even the results are not meet the targets. But it is not. We should work on that. We forgot one most important issue. We should congratulate Dr. Mahmoud Asmat, the Ministry of Electricity, and he really makes...
The new minister, of course.
Yes, the new minister, yes. And he makes a certain visit to every places, certain places, important places really. And also every day said that he stay at his office till 10 o'clock at night. Really, he's do a good start. And we wish him good luck, and he can has the capability to really make the reforming of this energy sector.
Yes. So we talked about the challenges. What about some key performance indicators, the KPIs to measure their ESG achievements?
Yes, the KPIs really regarding to the environmental, for example, if there is a bank, so what's the bank do with the environmental issue? Okay, there is a certain KPIs regarding to the energy efficiency, just replacing the lighting with the LED. This is one factor that makes a good energy efficiency.
Saves energy, yes.
Yes. Regarding to the air conditioning, if they make a new air conditioning based on, for example, maybe solar energy, based on absorption system, so he will decrease the amount of electricity consumed, so he makes the carbon footprint will be reduced due to these procedures. Okay, so this is for the KPI for environmental. Regarding to the social, let us see the satisfaction of the employees of the organization. I don't know if any company of public makes how come how much the employees satisfied with the company and with the procedures of the company, and makes this sensing to understand how the staff satisfied with the procedures of the company. This is also one KPI. Or the disclosure of information. So all these KPIs, there is a list of KPIs we can select which is suitable for the framework and can be handled in the framework.
Very good. Sorry to move very quickly, but we have a limited time left. So how can technology then support the implementation of ESG in brief?
This is really, I am happy.
It's a long story.
Yes, a long story, but it is most important to use, and I can support on that. I can support. There is a certain softwares, application can be used and to according to a standard of reporting system, and this is can also give the company the flexibility to create such reports and disseminate these reports all over the world. Then this is increase and enhance the reputation and the brand of the company. So we increase all the environment of the investment in Egypt.
Dr. Selim, as we wrap up at the start, you said that you had a call for action. So what's the action you are calling
yes,
for?
I just really I want to send this call of actions for the investor. Okay, please encourage the commitment of the companies who deals with or adhere with the ESG. For government, please make the regulation mandatory to the companies to be comply and implement ESG. And is a competitive advantage to the companies to use this. It is not, don't let it as optional, let it as a mandatory.
Yes.
Okay, and to the people, please support the companies that makes a good relation and engagement with you.
It's good for the environment and good for society.
Yes.
After all, it is environmental, social governance. The ESG advisor that we had with us here is Dr. Mohamed Selim Salman. Thank you very much. Dr. Selim, the Energy and Environmental Social Governance Advisor and also the board member of the Arab Energy Council. Always a pleasure to have you with us.
Thank you very much. It's really the pleasure of mine, really. Thank you very much.
Appreciate
it. Thanks.
Appreciate your presence here, and thank you for watching us here on Nile TV.